So today I get to sit down with one of the most polarizing players from Battle Camp, from The Mole, also the man who holds a 0-2 record against Falling for Blondes. Tony, welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm honored to chat with you. I've seen you on both shows. Like I said, you are one of the most controversial, polarizing players. Everybody has something to say about you, whether it's good or bad. So I'm excited to sit down.
Yeah, the blondes are undefeated. It's my Achilles heels, the blondes.
Are we gonna switch it up? Like, is a brunette a redhead? Like, is somebody else due for a chance?
Blondes only. Unfortunately, blondes are the only thing I will ever give attention
I,
to.
oh my God, I am so dead. At least you know that about yourself, you know? And fortunately, we'll get into it a little bit, but you met Gabby when she had blonde hair because a couple months earlier, her hair would
I
have been out of
saw
your
it
type.
would have been completely out. Yeah, I saw it too. I was like, whoa. It was like really crazy after like when I got eliminated and saw like what she looked like prior to her being on the show.
Mhm. Okay, so I can easily say that you're somebody who's meant for reality TV, but I would like to know what your friends and family think and if they share that sentiment.
Oh my God, they're so supportive. They love it.
Okay.
Actually, I've actually been asked to be on a bunch of shows prior to me getting on the mall. I was always just too nervous to do it. I was just always really scared to like, go on TV. But yeah, I'd gotten a few offers before. Some funny, some really cool, some that I'd never do. And then yeah, it was a really good time to finally do one. But yeah, no, I've gotten tons of support. My family's been very supportive from the first show to this one. So like it's been great. A lot of support, friends and family.
Were they surprised, or when you told them I'm going to go on a reality show, were they like, "Oh, that's Tony"?
They thought it was a scam. They thought I was gonna get killed. They're not from this country. They came
Where are your
here.
parents from?
So my parents are Cuban. They came here back in like I don't know the 70s.
Okay.
I don't know
Yeah.
how old they are. They're old. You
Mhm.
know,
Fair.
So they came here a long time ago, and to them, like a lot of the social media stuff is far fetched. They don't get it. It doesn't compute in their, dusty brains. They're
Hmm.
like, you can't make money off the internet. You gotta work hard. My mom would honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I think my mom would rather see me do hard labor and make $10 an hour because that's hard work than blow up on the internet. But regardless, my brother is older than me, and he is very supportive, and he has talked to her a million times about like, hey, this is the new wave. So
I
she
can
she's very
understand
protective.
that.
She's very protective. I was the youngest of two, so she's very protective over me, especially. So when she heard me wanting to leave to go to Malaysia to go be on Netflix, like she thought it was crazy. So
I've heard this sentiment from almost every single person who's ever done a Netflix show that the casting process, the reaching out to you initially, it's so vague that almost everybody is not sure what situation they're putting themselves in because it feels illegitimate.
yeah, it's super scary. Yeah, even so I was like, I think I first started getting calls when I was like 22, and it was all for dating shows, which looking back, I regret not doing. But I remember I would get the calls, and they would tell me, and it would be very surface level info, and I'm like, this sounds like a scam. It sounds like I'm gonna get trafficked.
That's exactly what I've heard from almost everybody I've talked to.
Yeah,
Okay, so you're the youngest of two. You have no sisters, so
no
it's just you and
sisters.
your
Yeah.
brother. Okay.
It's me and my brother. Yeah.
That was one of the questions I had is if you had sisters, what your sisters think of you being on these shows. But you
I have
don't. So,
step siblings. I have like
okay.
stepsisters and half sisters, but not close relationships. My brother and I are the ones that are close and grew up together. So yeah, my brother's been very supportive. My brother loves it. He's such a fan. He's like, dude, do it, go all the way. So it's really funny. My family's like very old school, clean cut, 9 to 5. My brother's very successful. He owns a company, so has a family, so family reunions, everyone's talking about their jobs and stuff like that. And then I come like covered in tattoos and on TV. So it's very funny being the odd one out. So
That's
I
funny
find
because you can sort of show them your highlight tape. You know what I mean? And it's you on reality TV.
no, they love it. They love watching me. They love
Yeah,
watching
of
me.
course.
Like they think it's hilarious.
Okay, so thank you for sharing that with us because I think that that will be interesting for most people to learn. Knowing that you've been invited on many reality TV shows, what have you watched personally? Any reality TV?
Zero.
Tony. Oh my God, that's
Zero.
crazy. Oh my.
Zero. I don't watch any TV. I'm a doom scroller. I love to doom scroll.
Oh,
I
so
love
your
to.
clips sometimes.
No, that's not my algorithm. That's not my
Okay.
algorithm at all. My
Mm.
algorithm's like cars and gym.
Fair, because I
Like,
was wondering what your algorithm was, but I didn't want to put you on the spot like that. So
no,
thank
no, it's
you.
cars and gym and the occasional blonde girl dancing, like do a TikTok dance. Like occasional. It's not even that common.
Okay.
I try not to like cover my algorithm with that. No, my algorithm's very boy.
Okay, fair.
Very cool cars, gym, airplanes, just the most boy stuff you could get.
So you're into cars, is that safe to say?
Yeah, yeah. I have a cool car. That's what I wanted to do initially with car content, but I didn't know how to get into it. So I ended up doing reality TV.
Okay, fair. You'll that will work its way in. I know it will.
I hope so.
What's something that viewers would be shocked to learn with you that you potentially haven't shared on another podcast yet?
Probably that this personality that I have, this big personality comes from the side of a kid that was really shy at one point. Very shy, long hair, like very scene, emo. I have pictures I've definitely shared. I was a very, very shy kid. I was bullied really hard in middle school and I was very in a shell. And then I eventually hit a growth spurt. Like this happened overnight. This was like a 1 year transformation where I got really, really tall and I guess arguably handsome, right? Like
Right, right, right.
I'm gonna go ahead and say handsome, but
Yeah, yeah, you can
um,
say it.
yeah, traditionally attractive, right? I guess that's what you could say, like where I look good, right? So that happened very quickly. So it's weird where I have like this funny, goofy personality that was from a dorky kid, but then I also have this ego of like this guy who's very excited to be, I guess, like cool, right? Like I always wanted to be cool when I was younger, so now I kind of try and embody that now. So I feel like I'm everything that little me wanted to be, and that's where this personality came.
I'm so glad you hit on that because I actually had a question written if you were bullied as a kid. And it's because as somebody who was bullied as a kid, you can sort of spot it in other people. And it's interesting though, I'll be honest because you leave space for me to say this. With men, it can go either way. When men are bullied, they can either become that cool guy who then bullies others because now he's in a space that's cool, or they can be very in tune to when someone's being left out, ostracized, or othered, and step in and stand up for people. And I would wonder how you view yourself between the two.
On TV, I'm definitely the bully, right? Like
Okay.
on TV, I definitely have to lean into that role. I don't have to, right?
Okay. Fair.
But I feel like for the audience, like that role suits me better, right? I'm better at being like this, like bigger than life character that's really almost easy to hate and target because, like, I kind of like it. I like being the villain. I
Hmm.
find it very like maniacal and like funny. Like I find like again like for me like TV is so fake
Yeah.
that like I love playing into the drama. I love being like this bigger than life character because it's I find it like hilarious. Like
So it's a role for you. You're kind of putting on a role. It's more like you're acting. You're on the clock.
oh my god, yeah, it's so much fun. Like it's
Okay.
so much fun getting into that like really think of it I would find it almost like a hyper acting of my personality, right? I have like that big goofy personality, but on TV I like to 100x it, right? Just like really lean into it and get as crazy as possible because I find it funny. Like you can't do that in real life, right? Like
Yeah. Hmm.
I can't scream and cry in public, without being a freak, but I could do it on TV. So it's like, oh my God, this is so much fun. It's fun unleashing all those emotions and letting loose and not having to restrain them. Because in society, as a guy, you kind of have to hold your emotions and be composed. But on TV, you don't. On TV, you could be an absolute freak of nature. And it's fun. I find it very
Cathartic.
free.
It sounds, yeah. It
It's
sounds like you're.
freeing. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
really freeing to just do whatever the hell you want in terms of like say whatever you want, do whatever you want, and it's very freeing. It's very very fun.
First of all, I can see that. And second of all, I would encourage you also at some point you'll find moments for yourself where you can have that without even being filmed. Do you know what I mean? Like there is such a stigma that, and it's sometimes women say it, but mostly it's men holding other men to the standard of
Oh
like
my god,
not
yeah,
showing emotion, not crying, not being vulnerable. But it does feel good to like be in a space to where you can just let it out. And when you
yeah.
don't, it's almost like a outpouring. Like,
Oh
oh
my
shit, I
god,
have
me
all this
crying
built
on
up.
TV was like the first time I cried in like 2 years. That was
Yeah.
amazing. It was so much
Yeah.
fun. I was like, oh my god, it's
You're
like
like,
so
I
many
do feel
tears.
better. I should do this
Oh
more.
my god, it was great. Like so, it's like it's again, it's very fun to just unleash those emotions.
Yeah.
So it's and also makes for great TV. So
That's why I said you are meant for reality TV. It takes a very special personality. I'll compare it to the Housewives. They are also just an accelerated version of themselves on TV. And to still know who you are, but just be able to play that up is such a talent because people can either lose themselves or it comes off fake or they're just not entertaining as they think they are. There's so many people who think they're the main character and then they're shocked when they have a 2 minute edit. But then I feel like you're taking up space and then simultaneously that's reflected on the screen as well. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, it's really really thrilling. And then like I definitely know like what you're talking about. Some people like it feels forced when they try to do the things. Whereas like to me, like almost like it's like almost like a ripping for me. It's like a flow state. Like it's so much fun to just embody this craziness. It's very, very fun.
I can't wait to find out what you thought about the other personalities on the show. I would love to talk about Trey and specifically getting back to how you felt he was as a character when he was playing kind of into that snake villain. It felt weird. It felt disingenuous. And I'm not sure if it landed that way in person or if that's a
Do you
stretch.
want me to be honest?
Yeah,
Episode 4 is where I turned off the TV. Like the second I left, I was like, oh, it's a good show.
done.
No, okay. I browsed the rest of the because like obviously like I'm watching the show for myself. Ooh, sorry. Ooh, so, I know some people are gonna hate that one. Like, oh my god, we watched the show for yes, guys, I watched the show to see myself perform.
I would
But
too.
after that, like I did browse through everything. I get what you're saying. It does kind of feel forced because he's not the thing is like if you look at his story, like who he actually is as a person, he's a genuine nice guy.
Exactly.
So like to see him on screen being maniacal is like very like kind of hard to digest because it's like I know you're a nice guy. You just married your wife. Like you are so kind in person.
Uh-huh.
In person, like me one on one, he felt uncomfortable. I don't
Mm.
think he liked what he was doing. I don't think he liked playing the villain character.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's how it felt, right? Maybe I could be completely wrong. I'm speaking for him,
Right.
but like it didn't feel like genuine. It felt like I'm like oh shit, I'm forcing myself to like, and it almost like gave like almost an anxiety feeling, which I ended up voting for him because I was like, oh my god, this guy's like scaring me. Like I don't want him to vote for me because it
Uh-huh.
feels like he's gonna throw anybody under the bus. Whereas like when you see me, it's almost like I'm having so much fun with it. Like I'm laughing like the entire time that bad things are happening around me.
That's the thing. There's not this sense of guilt that you seem to have, even as you're like
Zero.
eliminating people who are on your own team. But it seems to be sitting with Trey, which is why when he goes back to be a snake again, it's like, and here you are, like making yourself uncomfortable again. You know what I mean? Because it just doesn't feel, like you said,
No, no, I
natural.
was dancing in the chaos. Like but I
You
like that.
were.
But the thing is, like, it's TV, so like to me, it's like so much fun because like sometimes like for example, like when Lexi and Avery were pinned up against each other, when all their names came up on the board, in my head I was hysterically laughing because I'm like, I can't believe that fucking worked. You know, it's like I bamboozled all these people that I see as very intelligent to believe this stupidity that they're going against each other. Also, that I could be like clear, like free and clear, like because from my perspective, everyone should have voted for me on the first one. Like
Mm-hmm.
we lost, I was the biggest threat on the Eagles, you know,
Mm-hmm.
physically. Like rationality would have been like, oh, let's get Tony the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But here I am, like getting girl on girl violence, just fucking, hey Avery, she's voting for you. Hey Lexi, she's voting for you, and then like everyone just pins against each other. I'm like, oh, like I got what I wanted, right?
That was
So like
diabolical, by the way.
hilarious,
It
but
was like,
but it's hilarious. It's
uh-huh,
like that's why I'm hysterically laughing because I'm like,
uh-huh.
it's like a mischievous thing. It's not like a so people think that I'm like evil. But like it's more of like I threw a banana peel and you slipped on it and I'm laughing at you. Like that's where
Mm-hmm.
the humor comes from. It's not like from a humor. It's not my laughter doesn't come from watching people suffer. It comes from like the like almost like adrenaline of like oh my god that worked.
You're like the kid who, when their dad is outside watering, or let's say washing his car, you would be in the garage and kink the hose and then look to see when his dad like watching.
Exactly right.
Like that's you as a person still at 26, I feel like.
At
You're like,
26, I still like my fondest memory to this day is like me going to Colorado for the first time and nailing my dad with a snowball.
mm-hmm,
Like and he
mm-hmm,
slips on the ice and
mm-hmm.
like everyone's concerned trying to pick him up and I'm like in the snow boogers coming out of my nose laughing like But that's how I grew up. Like I grew
Hmm.
up pranking, like my friend, I grew up outside, like my friends and I pranking one another. So like that's where my humor comes from. So like I'm just on TV doing the same thing, you know? I like to rage bait people, if that makes sense.
Mm,
Like
it does make sense.
I like to see people rage over something that I know in my head is a joke, you know? And I did it on the mall, you know, where I stood
Hmm.
up and said, I'm gonna let the money go to zero. You know, like I found humor in seeing everybody get so fired up over that. Like, you're such an idiot. And I'm like, yes, I am. Like, you know, like I find it like hilarious. Like I just find the chaos really
You're the
funny.
pot stirrer. You're
Oh my
you
God, yes.
that and you love
Instigator.
it. Yes, you're the instigator. You love it. Okay, I want to backtrack before because I want to talk about that moment where you were meddling and pulling the strings. But when you before you get to battle camp, what were you told or how much were you told about what show you were going to be on? Did you know you were outdoors? What did you know? Did you know that black women in New Jersey are 7 to 8 times more likely to die from pregnancy related causes than white women? Wealth is not a protective factor. In fact, wealthy black women are still more susceptible to maternal death than their white peers. The Perinatal Health Equity Initiative is fighting to change that through education, advocacy, and support. You can help by visiting their website today at https://givebutter.com/HCOFR5 to learn more and donate. A portion of the proceeds from all positively uncensored content and merch also supports their work. Let's stand together for Black mothers and families. Do so by visiting the link in the description below. Let's get back to the episode.
I was told it was gonna be like a really physically competitive show, and they definitely sold it to me because they were like, it's gonna be like competitive. You're gonna be pinned up against other, like it's gonna be really athletic, like really crazy, like rock climbing and swimming, and so I was like all for it. I was like, oh, this sounds sick. This sounds like some Olympic game stuff. Like, you know, like I was thinking almost like what's the name of that show where like you're running on like the foam
Ninja
stuff?
Warrior.
Ninja Warrior. Like that's like what I was thinking. I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be so cool.
Hmm.
And then I got there and it was like drinking cottage cheese smoothies and tarantulas. It's like, fuck, you know, like,
That was so gross. That was
mm,
you. I both times I tried to watch that episode, I happened to be drinking a smoothie and I forgot that that's what was coming up, like you were seeing. And
ruined.
both times ruined my appetite, ruined smoothies, like
How do you
just
think I
ruined,
felt? I was,
yeah,
I was
ruined
pissed.
yogurt. Yeah, that's so. So we'll get to that too. What strategy did you decide that you were going to use in the game since you're coming right off the mole?
So, I mean, if you notice my strategy, it worked well on episode one. Everything worked well until like my emotions get in the way, you know, like everything
Mm-hmm.
was working just fine. And I essentially like just wanted to like convince other people that they needed me more and that they could use me in the future to so that they could like pin against each other. And like that was like just my strategy. And I did it, you know, it worked well episode one. Episode two, it works great. You know, Irina ended up, you know, getting voted for a bunch of times. They also left out like a bunch of like maniacal scenes from the Irina stuff that was also hilarious. Um, you know, like it was working well. And I did it with Louis, right? Where Louis, I told him, I'm like, yo, Polly's voting for you. And their entire cabin was voting for Polly. And, you know, all that stuff was kind of working, you know. Obviously, it fumbled in my face. Georgia and Gabby ended up voting for me, but it was working. The strategy was doing fine. I probably could have lasted way longer if I didn't become such a big baby.
Do you think that your strategy puts you at the potential for people to realize what you're doing and get sent home? Like, do you think it kind of like puts more eyes on you once people like I sort of mean like do you think that you have the capacity to have
Get caught.
longevity with that game? Right.
Yeah, you could get caught for sure. And I mean, Trey gets caught,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Mm-hmm.
Trey got caught up in it.
Uh-huh.
But I think people, it's almost like a love hate where like people like love to hate me, but like can't like I think Bree says it like they just like it's like a fun. They know that I'm not like maniacal deep down. They know that it's like not no hard feelings. You know, like if I want to get you out, it's because like I don't hate you. I just don't want to lose. So I think people would have been down to keep me around just to keep working with me because they knew that like I was very solid. Like some people knew that I was loyal. Like Louis, like I was very loyal to Louis. You know, so like if I am on your team, like in terms of like we're on the same page, like you don't have to worry about me stabbing you in the back. You know, some people have to worry about me stabbing in their back, but like it's I make it. I don't have a good poker face, so like people know when I'm going to stab you in the back. I mean, Lexi
Mm.
said it. Like she knew that I was voting for her.
Mm-hmm. I
You
remember
know,
that.
So
Yes.
like people know that like there's no like when it's like I don't have like a good fake face. Like if I'm gonna stab you in the back, it's like you're gonna see me walking up behind you with a knife in my hand. You know, like you're gonna see me doing it.
Uh-huh. So you stab them in the front, really, instead of in the back. Like they pretty much
Yeah,
know what's coming.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
I come up right up to you. I
Yep,
come up
yep,
right up
yeah.
to you.
Yeah, here he comes. You're so
Yeah,
mean.
sorry. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
So sorry, but I gotta do this.
I love you. I
Um,
love you. I love you. Yeah.
So do you stand getting into some of the challenges then? Lexi sent home first. We were just talking
Mm,
about her. Do you
brutal.
stand
Yeah.
by that was brutal. Do you stand by the decision though?
Yeah, I stand by it. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like had it not been Lexi, I fear that it would have been me. Like that's like the biggest thing. Like had it not been Lexi, I fear that it would have been me. And everyone's like, "Oh, it would have been Avery. It would have been Avery." But like, I don't think so. I think the Bears would have like maybe not gone for Lexi. You know, if I didn't convince Avery that Lexi was voting for her, I'm sure the Bears would have been convinced to throw some votes of me on there. And
Mm-hmm.
like, had my if my name would have started hot on the wheel, I'm sure it would have stayed hot like every single time we lost. Instead of like, oh, it was on it, or like instead of it only being on there once the first time, once the second time, and then yeah, the second time it was on there four. But like, I think had it stayed hot, like it would have like gone hot the first one, it would have stayed hot the other ones, even if I didn't go home.
That makes a lot of sense. And to echo something you said earlier, I do appreciate the clarification that you thought of your competitors as intelligent. Because as a viewer, sometimes it reads like you don't view. Like Lexi or Avery, like you perhaps like maybe don't view them that way. So hearing that you it was part of the fun was knowing how intelligent they are and pulling one over.
No, that was the funniest part. That was the best part for me was getting one over who's someone I viewed as like hyper intelligent. You know,
That makes
like
a lot
the
of
fact
sense.
that Cutie and Avery weren't just fucking gunning for me the whole time made me joyful, thinking like, oh, I'm bamboozling these geniuses. Like this is working. And like a part of me laughing is because like sometimes I feel like I do it in such a dumb way that when
Hmm.
it works, I'm just like in such disbelief. It's like, like such a
Yes.
dumb idea worked. So like that's where the joy comes from. And like a lot of times at the wheel, like I'm laughing, but it's not from like a I want to see you go home point. It's like I can't believe this is happening point. Like it's just like this is hilarious type shit.
Okay, let's get to the wheel. How fair did you think it was that eliminations were decided by that wheel?
It wasn't fair at all, but I thought it was hilarious. I also thought it was like hilarious. Like so dumb. Like this big ass wheel's gonna decide who goes home. Like that sucks. But like I kind of live in the suck. Like I like things that suck because again, I find it humorous. Like
Okay.
the smoothie, like it sucked, but I found it hilarious. Like
Uh-huh.
regardless of how it made me feel, I knew that the viewer would find it hilarious to see like this maniacal guy getting destroyed by a smoothie. You know, so like the funny goes both ways, whether it's happening to somebody else or happening to me. I find it funny.
You remind me of somebody I knew when I was in high school, and I can't remember the name of the race, but he was truly somebody who loved the suck. And I think it was like the strongman race or something. And it was probably the most miserable race I've ever heard of. You eat shit for like half a mile in the mud.
Yeah.
And he was like, I fucking loved it. Like, and he loved it. And you kind of remind me of that attitude of
Yeah,
someone
I
to
love the
do.
suck. I think it's funny. Like I embrace it. I find it hilarious. Like I find the sucking part of it kind of humorous because like I'm not gonna die, right? Like
That's true.
I'm gonna look back and find it funny. So like in the moment, all I think about is like this is gonna be really funny in a few months. So like
Okay.
that's why I'm never like super bummed out about anything. Like everyone was concerned about like the video of me crying. Everyone's like, dude, like how do you feel about it? I'm like, bro, this is hilarious. I'm like, this is gonna be a meme. And I'm like, it might not make me laugh super hard, but it might make somebody else laugh super hard. And that's like all, isn't that like the whole point that would make people laugh and enjoy things? Like, if I am a shitty character and people don't like me, I'm like, cool, let's roast me and bomb me so that it makes people laugh. And like, it doesn't bother me.
Okay, so I have heard in reference to you crying, I have heard that compared to the Dawson Creek meme, which I'm sure that you've heard by now.
I
Um,
haven't.
oh, you haven't heard
I
that?
have not. What's Dawson Creek?
Okay, hold on. I'm about to show you that meme just so that you
Should
can
I
have
Google it?
context. Yeah,
Oh, God.
Dawson Creek crying meme.
Awesome. Oh, it came right up.
So I'll put it up here for the viewers as well. Okay.
Oh my God. That's tough. That's a good
So
one.
It's kind of nice though, like we sort of needed a revamp on that. We sort of needed like a redo of that meme, and now we have like a modern version. So thank you for that. We thank
Okay,
you.
no problem.
So let me look where. So in this game, is it safe to say that your first mistake could very easily be your last?
Yeah, for sure. Me thinking it's a fucking love story is always my mistake. Like
Mm.
it keeps happening to me. But like I'm such a weakling for like a cute blonde girl. Like I'm so weak for it.
Ugh, you are. You
I'm so
are.
weak.
The
I'm so
mole.
weak.
And then even, okay, so allegedly even taken blonde girls, because let's go there. Gabby put on TikTok that she told you she was taken. What's the sitch?
You know what? She did, but like she kept ripping me with like it was very like lighthearted. It wasn't like a Tony, get off of me, I have a boyfriend. It was like, Tony, you're so cute. Like I'm not married, you know? It
Okay.
wasn't like a firm like get away. Like if she was like, hey Tony, like I'm not interested, I have a boyfriend, I'd be like, cool.
Y-
Like I got that, like I knew that vibe with Georgia. I didn't even try with Georgia. Georgia's out of my league, but not that Gabby's in my league. I'm just saying Georgia Hazzarati is like Georgia Hazzarati, you know?
Understand.
But like it wasn't like a hard like ooh, but like it was like a flirty, I always want to hang out with you regardless. Like, look, I don't have a ring if things don't work out, you know. But like she said she was, doing it to bamboozle me, but
How do you feel about that? Like, what does your gut say? Do you think she was doing it to bamboozle you?
no shot.
You think she actually, like, for in the moment, you think she liked you?
Yeah, I could call her up right now. I
Okay.
have her. We text every day. So like I don't
That that is too funny. The drama, the tea. You are such a pot stirrer.
I don't. I just like I'm a nice guy. Like I think I'm like a good time to hang out around with. Like I don't think I'm like might be annoying, but like I don't know. Like I think I'm like decent to hang out with. So like
Like
you
I
know,
said, Brianna said that you were. Like when I listened to her interview, she said that you were one of the most likable people on the cast. So that counts. Yeah, that counts for something.
Bree! I fucking love Brie. Like I love her so much. She's so pure and amazing. Honestly, I'll be honest. Like in terms of cast, everyone has been so lovely, like towards me and towards each other. Like, not that I've noticed any drama between anybody. Maybe there has been. I kind of stay out of it. But
Hmm.
towards me, everyone's been extremely loving. Like, Nick has reached out a bunch of times. Brie and I fucking love her. Chase has been extremely, extremely kind towards me. Kyle, I love. Like, Georgia, I love. Lorenzo, I love. Like, everyone has been very enthusiastic and loving towards one another. So, in terms of that, like, it's been very fantastic. Especially, like, for people that might be more sensitive to such a crazy thing, right? Like it's a big TV show. Like some people might have got more hate than others, so it's nice that everyone's been very like together.
Let's get into the geo and the poly of it all because what what are how are things there? Are you guys good? Because ultimately she comes in after Lexi, and your thought at the time is like she's gonna rejuvenate the group. New person gonna rejuvenate the group.
Well, I'll be honest. I knew on the show I don't talk about it, and I was trying to be enthusiastic, and I'm like, yeah, Polly's like me. I was trying to be enthusiastic. I knew it was kind of a fuck up the minute her and Gio knew each other. Like the
Mm.
second they clicked, I was like, oh, this is such a huge fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that did bite me in the ass because I did not like that relationship at all. I did not like that they knew each other prior because I'm like, that sucks. I'm like, that weakens us and that makes her have like an alliance with the Bears and Gio's like a influential character in that cabin. So I was like, that's not good. Like I don't have eyes and ears everywhere. So I lost a lot there when I realized that they had a good relationship.
Would you have been better off at hindsight what it is if Lexi stayed over Polly coming in?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if Lexi had stayed, Lexi was definitely loyal. But like, from retrospect, my perspective was like I prefer Avery because Avery's influential on the Bears, and like I knew that the Eagles were solid with or without Lexi. The only issue is that when Polly came in, I was like, "Fuck, that's a big shit show," you know.
Mm-hmm.
Had she had like a relationship with like the Wolves, I think it would have been better. Like had she known somebody from the Wolves or something. But the Bears, I didn't want because I knew like Gio and I would eventually clash heads because like we're both guys on physical guys on opposing cabins. So I knew it was kind of a shit show.
I thought, I'm going to be honest. On one hand, of course, I can acknowledge that as you're yelling at Polly, like, I'm like, okay, like, obviously, he should not yell at another woman. He shouldn't be intimidating. Simultaneously, And to my viewers and my listeners, you know that I say outright when I'm about to say something problematic. I don't like Polly on Selling OC. So when she got called out, I cackled. I cackled at home. I don't like her and I don't like Geo. It's
Okay.
MAGA, it's giving Orange County. Like I just don't like it. So when they both
Skipping mag is hilarious. It
when
is.
you
It
grouped
is.
them both together and you were like, okay, bed bugs or whatever you called them, I just it was so good.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. And I knew I wasn't going to split them. And I knew that Gio was starting to dislike me because his cabin was favoring me over Polly. And I knew that there was, like, especially for the punishment, I knew he was trying to throw me up there. And when it was Polly, Bree, and Gabby, I knew he was furious. And I was like, this is causing a lot of fucking issues.
Mm.
Um, Again, I don't wear a fake face. Like, I was probably like walking around like I was the fucking man, you know, like when I didn't get picked up for that. So like bad on me for being such an egotistical maniac sometimes. But yeah, you know, I was very pissed in that situation. I did not like that combination at all.
Listen, pause. Like, as much fun as you have playing the villain and leaning into the roles, if this was for a higher amount of money, like 1 million, 3 million, 5 million, would you play a different game strategically?
I think I'd be able to keep my wits about me a little harder and be more aware of what people think of me versus
Mm.
like on the show, I clearly didn't give a fuck what anybody thought about me, right? Like I
Hmm.
was very like in your face, like I'm
Yep.
the bad guy. You could be with me or against me, I don't care. But like I also like felt like I gave like a scary energy of like Lexi fucked up and it was me that got her out, you know? So like I feel like people knew that. They were like, oh shit, like, you know, don't try like Georgia was freaking out. She's like, if I screw up, Tony's gonna come after me. You know, like so I feel like I gave that energy. If there was more money on the line and more to lose, I don't think I'd want that energy. I think I'd want to be more passive versus like just straight up like don't screw up while I'm coming after you type energy. You know, very I'd want to be way more forgiving.
That makes a lot of sense. And again, because you say things that sometimes give me the space because you're self-aware. Georgia was like so scared of you coming for her and after that second challenge. So
I
I want to
never gave that energy on camp. I hope towards her at least, I don't think I ever gave that energy on camp. I was team Georgia all the way. When I found out that she voted for me, my heart like gripped. That was like, I'll be honest, I think Georgia's vote hurt way more than Gabby's. Like, in all honesty, like Georgia's vote shattered me. Because when I found out how she felt like in camp about like, you know, being scared that I would come after her, like, I felt awful. Like I was like, yo, that sucks. Like I really didn't like that she felt that way because I had no intentions of coming for Georgia at any point. Like I
I'm
loved Georgia and Lorenzo.
Let's talk about feeling good and whatever that means for you. Whether you're looking to improve your health, strengthen your core, improve your flexibility, Better Me Health Coaching is here to help. With over 4,000 workouts in the app, ranging from calisthenics, somatic training, wall Pilates, you will find something that works for you. With 24/7 personalized training, nutrition guidance, and real progress tracking, you're going to have the support that you need to stay on track and feel better. Join us, over 150 million users, on their journey towards better health. Tap the link in my show notes to get started today. Back to the show.
So,
I'm glad you said that because I was wondering if, in hindsight, maybe you can see that, or if you could see women's point that when you're around people who you don't know, like perhaps that boisterousness could trigger PTSD from other relationships or other men or just like unsure. And I think that that could sort of make somebody be skeptical of you, like even outside of the game. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, no, for sure, for sure. No, I know I definitely play this act, you know, to a T of like what a scary like almost like a high school jock. You know, like
Yeah,
that's
that's a good.
literally what I play, like almost like movie style high school jock.
Yes,
So
yes.
like I find it again that I find hilarious because like high school jocks in movies they always lose, right? Like and again I
Hmm.
find that character and embodiment hilarious.
Hmm.
But I hope at the end of the day that people kind of like click that like oh this is a character, like this is a
Yes.
heightened like character acting, like very ridiculous. Like in person, don't get me wrong, I'm definitely like silly and goofy, but definitely not to like where it's like cynical on the show. Like on the show, it's like very like, oh, this guy wants to get everybody out and he's gonna laugh while doing it, you know? So on the
I know
show,
what
yeah.
you
But
mean.
again, that's for TV, right? Like we're doing it for TV. I find it funny. But
And
again,
I
I
think
also
that's
go
good to
ahead.
clarify. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, no, you're so good. It's your podcast.
No, no, but you're the guest. You're the guest of honor. I
No,
never want to
stop.
cut you off. I always want to make sure that I give my guests the space to say things like, even though you've been on other podcasts, perhaps like you just didn't get to hit on something. So I always want to make sure that you have the opportunity.
No, for sure. And I think that's why I kind of like really like the edit of me where like you get to like really see me suffer because it's like it's a lot of Tony the first four episodes. Like it's a lot of like I was watching, I was like, all right, like get the camera off me. Like but it's a lot of Tony. So like I'm glad that it was a mix of like, yeah, Tony's a villain, but like Tony also suffers in the sense that like he hates heights, you know, like he makes a fool out of himself. So I hope that that like kind of like eases viewers. It's like, oh, like it's funny to watch him suffer. So like that's like where I really enjoyed watching the show where I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm also being a dork on here. So like that's good.
So you hate heights. I was curious how you felt during that challenge and if you felt like that was the worst challenge or which one you felt like was the
Oh my god, it's
worst.
definitely my biggest fear. Like it's not
Mm.
even close. Like I don't even like being in like I live in Miami. Like I don't
Uh-huh.
like going to my friends' apartments that live on the 40th floor.
Yeah.
Like I get like vertigo, like I get very dizzy. So like it was very hard. You know, I didn't want to do it at all.
Hmm.
It's also freezing cold up there, which obviously the viewer can't see because they can't
Mm.
feel the temperature. But it was like
Right.
40 degrees. It was windy. The plank was like yay big. Like I'm a heavy guy.
Uh-huh.
Like I would get on the plank and it would like bounce. Like it would
Mm.
like it was so it was very like not fun. And like the rope, they like obviously have a rope on you, but they wouldn't like pull. So you couldn't like lean and feel comfy that something had on you. Like it just felt like you were standing there with
Oh
nothing.
my God, it was just like slack. Like they're just
Yeah, it
like,
was just slack. Yeah, they
yeah.
gave it no tug. So like
Mm.
unless you were about to drop, then you'd feel it tug a little bit. But like when you're just standing there, there's no give. Like you're just
And how high up would you say that you were?
it was like 5 stories.
Okay, that's still pretty tall. Like high
Five or
enough.
four stories. Yeah, you would die for sure.
100, I
Like,
was gonna say high enough that if things didn't
yeah,
pan out, that would
yeah. Like if
be
that rope wasn't great, like if it was dental floss, like for sure it wouldn't be the best
series
fall.
like crap, like
Yeah, it
terrible.
definitely would have never aired. We'd all
Totally,
have
totally,
PTSD. You
totally,
know.
totally, 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 totally. Okay,
Ooh,
continuing on from that though. So we touched on a little bit earlier. Irina basically goes home, and you,
not basically.
yeah,
Irina
she
got
does go.
launched. No, she got launched.
I'm sorry, there was like a spider crawling on me as we were talking, and I could
Are
feel it.
you in camp? Like, are you at camp right now?
No, pretty much like because I live in New Jersey and I live on an old apple orchard, so like I pretty much am in camp,
Okay,
pretty much.
fuck yeah,
There's
hell yeah.
literally bugs everywhere, and it's so horrible for me as an avid bug hater.
I'm not big on bugs either. Bugs and heights, not a fan.
Oh God. Ew, the tarantula thing later on in the season was gross.
Crazy, poor cutie.
Poor. Okay. Okay, so Irina goes home at the start of episode 3. I
Launched
want to
home.
launched. Before she
Launched, catapulted.
out. Before she goes home though, she has this moment where she like tries to like roast you at dinner. You're like, funny. I want to know what else happened. Like what else happened with Irina because she was a toxic character on Love is Blind, so there has to have been more drama.
It was definitely giving toxic.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely okay. Like, I love Irina. I love you, Irina. She was really mean on camp. Like, she was
Mm-hmm.
really mean. I think that's how she got the universal vote. Um, Obviously, like I was whispering around. Polly was obviously whispering around. Like everyone was just saying, like, "Yo, this girl's kind of mean." Like,
What was an example? Like, was she making fun of other people? Was she overinflating herself?
she was just like the jokes were missing. Like
Mm.
she would do jokes, and they were just like the joke she did at me at dinner,
Hmm.
where she was like where like obviously like I was upset that Georgia felt that like we really fucked up that challenge, and she was like emotional about it. Love Georgia.
Hmm.
And she was upset about it. And like obviously I wasn't happy because I'm terrified of heights and like that was a pretty scary experience to be honest.
Hmm.
And then we just rip like a lame joke that missed by like 3 miles. And she's like, maybe she meant like biggest enemy. And I was like, I was like, and then Georgia and Lorenzo come and get pizza, and she's like, yeah, there was pizza, but Tony ate all of it. Like, I was like,
Funny.
I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
ah, I can't wait to vote for you. And I also hated that she kept saying she wasn't going to vote for me. She told me like 10 times. She's like, I would never vote for you, Tony. I love you. I'm like, fucking
Like we
two-faced.
fucking hate each other. We
I'm
both
like,
hate each
I'm like,
other.
I know I hate you. Like, you know I hate you, Irina. Like, you know I hate you. Like, what are you saying right now?
Okay, this is great for me to hear. Sorry. I always announce who I don't like so that it's clear. You know what I mean? Like I do have a bias when I say I don't like this person. I thought they were toxic. Geo, Polly, Irina. So when bad things happen to them, like they go home, it does make me laugh.
Yeah.
You don't have to respond to that.
I
That can
was
just be
really,
my mean
yeah, I
that
know.
can just be my mean comment. Um, okay, so one comment I've heard echoed because I put this on Reddit and I've heard viewers note the fact that it didn't seem like you were in alliances with anyone that you weren't sexually attracted to. Do you agree with that? And if not, why not?
Well, I'm not sexually attracted to Louis, and I'm not sexually attracted
Okay, what about
to,
women? What about women? Did you align with women that you weren't
yeah,
sexually
Cutie.
attracted to?
I mean,
Okay.
Cutie's like a sister. Avery's like a sister. Like, I love Avery. I love Cutie, and I was like swinging for Avery and Cutie all the way.
Okay.
Like, I
Okay.
was like not gonna let either of them. Avery the first time, but like Cutie, unfortunately they didn't air it. But like me and Cutie were like this. Like, I trusted Cutie with like everything. I trusted her with my soul. Um, So yeah, like not every single. I mean, it was just I just happened to be surrounded by a bunch of attractive women. I'm sorry, like there
Okay,
was a lot of
fair.
cute girls on camp, but like me and Bree, like I was like this with Bree, and I wasn't like sexually attracted to Bree either. So,
Okay.
um,
So you would
you know,
disagree with that. You would disagree with the sentiment that you were only aligned with people that you were attracted to, women.
yeah, yeah, and
Okay.
like Georgia, like obviously had a boyfriend, and like Georgia and I weren't aligned. Obviously, Georgia was going for me, so like
Hmm.
But I'm gonna add to that. Does it make it easier for me to like be soft if I'm attracted to somebody? Yeah, like I'm definitely like for Hannah, like fucking gave it up for Hannah. I was like, oh Hannah, yeah, have whatever you want. Now listen, King Simp, like if a girl calls me handsome, like it's over. Like here, whatever you want,
Right.
we're in a team. Like you and me, like we're doing
Yes.
it. You know,
Okay.
like I'm a cheap
So
date for sure.
okay, so you can like you disagree, but simultaneously you can see the point to like
Yeah, no, I
where
totally see their point. But again, like the only girl that I was in alliance with, I felt like was Gabby.
yes, and she
Yeah,
was one who you were the most attracted to. So I
yeah,
think
that's
that's
like
why
the
viewers like, you know what I mean, drew
yeah.
that
But Gabby voted for
conclusion.
me, so you know.
And what did you think? Let's get into that now. So can you like do you respect the game if she was just like, you know what, I'm gonna flirt with him and then I'm gonna vote for him? Do you respect the
Absolutely.
yeah.
I find that hysterical.
Hmm.
Here's the thing, like I'm not a sore like I'm okay with getting played. Like it's like one of those things where it's like kudos to you.
Yes.
Like good game.
Okay.
Like that's good. Like you got me. Like,
Okay, good.
it's one of those things where it's like I accept it. Like and I didn't expect it, but like it's also like I also find his I'm not too good to not laugh at myself. Like if I got bamboozled, like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, damn, like I'm gonna laugh. And when I realized it, because she told me like a while before it aired, I died laughing because I was like, oh my god, like I'm gonna look like such a dork on TV. But I found that hilarious. Like I found that idea hysterical. Like I wasn't worried about it. I wasn't like, oh my god, no, like I'm gonna look so bad. No, I found it hilarious. I'm like, oh my god, people are gonna get a kick out of this. Like 2 times in a row, Tony gets bamboozled by a blonde. I'm like, this is perfect.
Literally. Okay, so with that being said, then do you hold a grudge against anybody or are you very much a like let it flow off your back person?
On TV, like in on the show,
Yeah, from either
oh,
show, The Mole, Battle Camp, anybody who you'd say I hold a grudge based off your game.
oh, on the game, no, like in show, like if you bamboozle me, like good for you. Like you did a good job, because I'm pretty maniacal and pretty cunning in the shows. Sometimes, like I try to be. So like kudos to you, right? But like, yeah, no, I don't give a fuck. Like, what's for
Have you,
TV is for TV.
would you ever say, I guess that this experience seems sort of rare because a lot of cast members seem to get along with each other. But if you had a co-star that you just genuinely didn't like your personalities didn't get along, you didn't mesh well with them, is that somebody that you would feel comfortable being like, I just don't like that person. I just don't like them.
Yeah, I don't think everybody, I think a lot, especially like in a diverse cast, like Battle Camp, like there's people that are very different, especially for me, where I'm like this like very different personality, or I guess aggressive personality. Whereas like someone's like really soft, like Shuby, right? Like he's a very soft-spoken, lighthearted, and me and Shuby get along very well.
Hmm.
Like I love Shuby, but I was just giving like an example of like two
Of
very
course.
diverse personalities. I think it's totally okay to say if you don't like somebody, and I'm sure there's people on the cast that don't like one another. I don't know if anybody doesn't like me personally. They haven't told me yet. But I think it's totally okay if you just say like, "Hey, like it's not like I have anything against you. I just don't think we mesh well," and I think that's healthier than forcing a relationship with someone that you don't like.
I think that hearing your sentiments on random topics like that are very interesting and add a lot of perspective as to who you are off the screen. So again, I just appreciate you answering all of the tangents that I have. Is
No,
there
listen,
any
I'm very self-aware of how I come off. I know that
I
on the
appre-
show I come off like as this like bro, like just fucking muscle, like beefcake. Like I listen, I'm very self-aware. But like here's the thing, like my issue, like my stigma in my head, like right now is like I play that role so well and I give it such justification on TV that like it's almost impossible not to play it.
I know what you
Like
mean.
what if I came on there and I was just like this like soft spoken, I read books, like very like but like I just doesn't. I don't think it suits me. Like I'm
Hmm.
covered in tattoos. Like how the image I look like is the image I portray on TV in the sense that like it's so easy to lean into. Of course, I could do whatever I want. I could lean away from that, you
Yeah.
know. But I don't think it'd be as entertaining,
Or as
personally,
authentic to
or as
you.
authentic. Yeah, like
Uh-huh.
I play that character and I play it with enthusiasm.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
taking that flag from Lorenzo, like it felt genuine. It felt
Hmm.
like, give me that flag. Like this is like, I want the most attractive. Even if in my head I might have thought like, damn, maybe it is Lorenzo. Like maybe Georgia does have a boyfriend and would totally pick Lorenzo because they're obviously best friends. But like in my head, I was like, I'm the most attractive. Give me the flag. Like I like it. I like the Tony's just a big brute who likes to pick things up and put them down. Like I find that hysterical. Like I enjoy it. I really do. And like the backlash I get from it is very little. Like I think a lot of people get that it's just like this dorky character.
So getting to the part where we've had where I think you've gotten the most backlash when Gabby ultimately gets eliminated, which by the way is crazy because her name was on the wheel once and Trey was on there I think 4 times. He was
Yeah,
like a cat
I
with
was on there
nine
four
lives.
times too. Yeah, I was on there 4 times too.
It's kind of shocking that it's kind of shocking how many times he managed to skate by. But so Gabby goes home and you come back to the cabins and you basically lash out at Polly.
Correct, yeah.
Was what we saw accurate to how it went down?
It's pretty accurate. I mean, they cut out the part where I run out. Well, you see me run out, but like you don't see the door break. It wasn't like smashed to pieces, but like the latch like came off, which made it even
Mm,
more dramatic, right?
right.
So what like this like the idea behind that is like I'm like obviously distraught, right? Like so prior to that all happening, me and Gabby got like really close that night. Like we were hanging out all night. She was very like emotional. Like it was a very connected night where like I felt like okay, me and her are gonna go far in this game. It's gonna go really really well. So when that all got kind of like shattered in front of me, I was like very emotional. Like this girl was very genuine to her. It felt very genuine towards me, and she was very accepting of me, and she really like liked me, like in terms of like my personality. So we got along really well. So I felt very loved and accepted by her. So when she got shattered and went home, I was like, fuck, like very very emotional. Also the fact that like it landed on me first and then landed on her, so it was
Mm.
just a mixed feeling of emotion. And then I'm in the cabin, sobbing like a little baby, and like I just felt like Polly just like from my understanding, like it felt like she didn't give a fuck. Like she was just like, who cares that Gabby's gone? So like it felt really frustrating. Like I was just like really frustrated that like I'm like, damn, like this girl that I really like just got shot home and now I'm stuck in this cabin with this girl talking about who cares. It's like I felt really isolated in that moment. And then obviously I isolated myself even more by fucking running out of the room. But yeah, I just thought she was a clown in the moment. In the heat of the moment, I thought she was a clown.
I get it. Okay. So it was overwhelm of emotions. When you say the door came off the latch, Were you going to like slam the door shut and then it
No, no,
flew
no.
off?
I pulled it open. So
Okay.
like it had like a thing to like slow it down when you open it. I
Okay.
didn't slam it shut. I just
Okay,
yanked it
got it.
open. Yeah, I
Okay, so you
yanked it
yanked it
open.
open. Okay, got it.
Yeah, the little
Okay.
latch like came off. I don't think it was
Okay.
that dramatic. Like it didn't feel that
Okay.
dramatic,
It also
but I
almost
guess it
sounds like
was.
an episode of Unreal where like a producer would like go in, like loosen up the door latch so that like when somebody like pulls on it, off
Yeah,
it
it like came
comes.
off. Listen, the door didn't do anything. The door opened and closed just fine. But like, yeah,
Okay.
I did break the latch on the door.
Okay, so when this happened, do you think that you crossed a boundary with how you talked to Polly, and did you ramify that?
I think I think people yell at each other on TV all the time. And I think me yelling at someone from across the room and walking in an opposite direction instead of walking towards them. If I was walking towards her, I'd be like, yo, that's really scary. Like you are a big dominant figure walking towards a woman. But if I'm walking away from someone crying, I think it's totally different. I think it's all perspective, right? From my perspective, like I'm not in any shape, form harming anybody. I'm just hurt, running away, walking out of a room, yelling. So I think it's totally different than if I was like walking towards somebody or being up in somebody's face, right? Like on TV, we see people countlessly getting in each other's faces. I didn't get in anybody's face, nor would I.
Right.
So it was, there was plenty of
Did
distance between me and her for like it to be like a safe environment, right?
did you think it was interesting to hear Lorenzo and Georgia kind of validate that you shouldn't speak to her that way? Or do you agree with that objectively?
I think at that point, they were like already kind of like not Team Tony. They were like, all right, Tony's like very all over the place in terms of like how hard he go, like how the lengths he goes to like keep himself safe and like throw others under the bus. So I don't think they were like worried about like how I felt. They were more like we can't like stand like we can't deal with like the craziness, right? Because I did do
Yes.
crazy things on camp, right? Like I was doing crazy like deals to like try and make me last longer. So I don't think they were ready to consolidate me. I think they were like, like Tony's crazy. It's fine.
Yes. They
Yeah.
I think they use the word loose cannon, and I feel like
Loose
that's
cannon. There you go. Yeah,
yeah.
and I am. On TV, I'm totally loose cannon. I totally agree.
In your personal life, how much more emotional regulation would you say that you have in a situation like that than what's on TV?
Well, in a situation, I'm never in a situation like that in real life.
Okay.
I would say like the angriest I get in my life is like driving.
It's
Like
fair.
when I get cut off, like I'll honk
Uh-huh.
the horn.
Uh-huh.
But I
Okay.
think in my personal life, I'm pretty monotone,
Got it.
very
Got
very
it.
midline. I would say I'm almost very boring in my real life. Like the only time like that I bring out that ridiculous personality is on camera, because like that's where it's going to do good, right? Like, but I'm also like I'm aware of what I am. I'm a
Hmm.
big guy.
Right.
Pretty tall, pretty heavy. I can't be screaming at people in public.
Right. Right.
Would
I
not go down well.
I do appreciate all of the self-awareness, the context. Again, some people do take reality television at face value, and whomever they see on screen is who they think that that person is. And I know that ultimately, you've accepted the good and the bad side of reality TV. But for me, when I talk to people, I at least like to try to get to the root of who they really are so that we as viewers can make that differentiation, you know?
No, for sure. No, I totally agree with you. Yeah, no, I think on TV, like again, like I've said it 1,000 times, TV is TV, and like who you are on TV is like not who you are in person. And
Hmm.
obviously, the editing makes it different. Listen, I got a great edit also. Like I loved my edit. I was very, very happy with it. Um, but yeah, no, like who you are on TV and who you are in person is two totally different people. For the
I
most part, at least for me, some people are who they are on TV versus who they are in real life. But like some people aren't. Like for example, Trey is not maniacal in real life.
right.
Avery is not maniacal in real life. Like
Mm.
I would say they're both very heartfelt people, and they have like they carry their hearts on or they carry their hearts on their sleeves, wear their heart on their sleeves. Very very soft people. Chase also like not a villain in real life. Like Chase is a very nice guy in real life. Same thing with like Lorenzo and Georgia. I think they were depicted pretty accurately. Like very nice, sweet people. Um, so like again, like people go on TV and they exert certain emotions and they get crazy on TV for TV, and some people don't. So
Before we get into the last reflection questions that I have for you, you obviously make the decision to leave the camp the following morning. Can you
correct.
elaborate on your decision to leave?
Yeah, yeah, it was like honestly like pretty obvious. Like it was almost like to me it was almost obvious. Like I was like I'm not staying here. Like it was to me it almost like it was like awkward. I was like I just like had like this big emotional breakdown. Like I'm so sad. And like even the next morning I was really sad. So like it didn't make sense to me to like stay. Like I felt like it's one of those things where like a cup of ice cream is great, but like a tub of ice cream is like sickening, if that makes sense. Like
Hmm.
too much is too much. And like it was one of those things where like I felt like if I stayed longer, that bitterness and that projection of like my sadness and kind of like my emotions would kind of start to latch on to people. Like where it's just like now it's like kind of a nasty, not fun environment. And that's how I felt. Like I felt like I don't want to be here anymore. I'm not happy. It feels kind of gross to be here.
Right.
I think it's best for myself and for everybody else. Like if I'm just like, yeah, let me get out of here.
You
Like let me
feel
call
like
it a
those
day.
feelings would have stayed with you. The feeling of being upset that Gabby left, that wouldn't have just gone away the next day. And
It wasn't
especially,
just yeah. It was like the mix of Gabby just left. Like I was really sad. Like I wasn't happy. I felt some kind of way. I wasn't happy with my cabin. Like I just wanted to leave. I wouldn't. I don't want to keep. I didn't want to sleep there. Like I didn't want to like wake up with these. I didn't want to wake up with these people that like I felt like weren't
anger.
happy to be around me. Yeah, like it was
Okay.
just like yeah, like nobody like it didn't feel like the happy cheers of camp to me for me
Hmm.
were like over with, and I'm like yo, this is getting way too serious. And like maybe
Okay.
that's cool for some people, like that want to like, but like TV for me is supposed to be fun and lighthearted, and when it like kind of wasn't that anymore, I was just like this is like kind of lame.
Okay. So a lot of viewers have obviously formed their own theories around your exit, as viewers do. And some people are wondering, did you actually make the decision to leave? Were you asked to leave? And I think the
I was
reason
encouraged to stay. I was
you were
encouraged
encouraged.
to stay. Yeah, I was encouraged to stay. It
Okay.
was my decision to just get out of here. I was like, yeah, it's like one of those things where I felt like it was too far gone.
Hmm.
Like I was just like, I don't want to be here anymore. So like, yeah, no, I was encouraged to stay by producers, and they're like, they were like, it's not a big deal, like stay. Like
Okay.
obviously you got emotional, like it's cool, it happens, stay. And I was like, no, I don't want to. Like I want to go home. Like I really wanted to go home.
Okay. And so your desire to go home, that outweighed the fact, do you feel like you could have won? Because I guess that's what a lot of people were getting at. They were like, most of the challenges were physical. They felt like you maybe could have had a spot in the finals, but you shook your head no, you don't think you could have.
I don't think I could have won now. I think the secret one was out. I elaborated that like in my leaving. I was like, yo, I don't want to see my name all over that board. Like
Hmm.
seeing Irina get through that, like Irina, like I'm sure the feeling that Irina felt, like her, even her own team voting for her, was a nasty, gut wrenching feeling. Regardless if
Hmm.
I'm laughing, right? Like obviously, like I didn't want to like just like feel that like everyone was just like, all right, we're sick of this kid. I don't want to feel like isolated and be like, damn. Especially like at the time of like, yo, now you have to encourage people to not vote for you. Like I don't want to sit there and like have those awkward conversations of like, oh, like you shouldn't vote for me,
Hmm.
knowing that I'm talking to somebody that like is like, oh, yeah, I'm totally gonna vote for you. So I think that comes from like a thing of like not wanting to be not accepted. So I was just like, yeah, I don't want to feel that, especially on TV, because then I'll cry even more. So like, I'm out. It was one of those things.
I feel like given some of the things that you were saying earlier, that situation may be a little bit too close to home as far as
Yeah,
feeling a
for
little bit
sure.
too real life like.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Like way too lifelike. I was like, ooh, this is getting like way too real. It was
It's
like
getting
freaking
like
me out.
PTSD. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was like freaking me out. So I was like, yeah, like I feel freaked out. Like I already did this public cry on television. Let me just like not do it again. Like I don't want a third. I don't want a second. Cryathon.
Are you able to say whether or not you were actually able to go home after that, or if you sort of have to stick around camp before it stops filming?
I had to do like some like interviews.
Okay, fair. And then you can go home?
Yeah, yeah, they fly you right back home.
That's nice because there is some shows where some people are there like 50 days waiting for the entire show to stop filming, and
On the
that would be
mole, I had to
awful.
stay. On the mole, I had to stay.
Ugh. Was
Yeah,
that hard?
kind of, not really. Like
Okay.
I was in Malaysia, so it's
Okay.
kind of cool. Like just explore the world by myself.
Oh, and you got to do that after. No more hotel stay, lock stay. Okay, cool.
Well, they gave me
That's
a hotel, but they're like, do whatever you want. They were
okay,
just like,
that's
just
tea.
be here at this date. Kind of scary, kind of crazy. Totally could have got stabbed and killed, but
I don't know. Maybe I'll go on the mall and get myself limited at episode 1, so the whole time I could just like go ahead and bop around and see what's going on in another country.
It was
Who are
cool.
you? I know that you mentioned Nick earlier. Are there any other players that you wish you got an opportunity to play with that arrived after
Oh my
your
God,
exit?
Chase for sure. Definitely for
Okay.
Chase. Like they didn't air it, but there was like an like when like in the like where I'm sitting talking about like I don't think I'm gonna be intimidated by guys from Too Out to Handle. I also said like a million other things that day, but they only clipped that. So fucking thanks Netflix. You know, all the Too Hot to Handle guys hate me now. Um, they asked me like, oh, like who's a player from the Netflix universe that you'd love to see and like play with? And I was like, oh my God, Chase. Like, is he here? Like, so they didn't have that, you know. But
Okay, Chase was a beast. Having competed on both shows, which do you think had harder challenges, The Mole or Battle Camp?
oh my God, the mole.
Okay. You think it
Way
was much
harder.
harder?
Yeah, way harder.
Okay.
It
So
wasn't even
would
close. Like it was way harder.
so if you had to pick from one of two statements, you would probably agree more with if you can do well on the mole, you could do well on battle camp versus if you do well on battle camp, you'd be great at the mole.
Yeah,
You would
like
agree
I
with
mean,
the
like
first one.
I feel like I think the best example you get is like me and Avery. I feel like me and her made the most noise on the show. Like we made a lot of noise. I mean, did well, obviously. Like retrospect, like I did okay. She did better. Um, but yeah, no, I would say that like you could do really well if you do well in the.
What did you learn about yourself after competing on both shows and watching yourself on TV?
I gotta stop fumbling it for girls. I gotta stop being such a weakling. Oh my God, a pretty face. I'm losing all the money.
You said you cracked me up because in one episode you said you wear your heart on your shoulders, which is not the saying, but I love that you said it like that because it's hard on your sleeve, and you said you wear your heart on your shoulders in one of the episode, and I was like, there we go. Like you have to stop doing that. I have to stop wearing your heart on your shoulders, as you would say.
Oh my God, I swear to God, every show I come into, I'm like looking for love. It's like, what is Tony doing? Like,
What's-
people are playing tug of war. Tony's like flirting.
So could that be your next show, or is there a potential to see you on some sort of dating show?
Oh my God, I would love to. I would
Okay.
love to be on one. I think that'd be a lot of fun, especially since like Villa, low stress, which is just like right up my alley. Like low
Uh,
stress and chilling, like that's right up my alley.
you would be such great TV on a reality TV show, especially if they just kept sending in blonde bombshells. You'd be so fucked.
I'd be fun. I'd be like, oh,
Every week you would get close with someone new, and then they'd send in someone else who's your perfect match, and you would have to audible, and you would have to change, and then you'd have to do it again and again and again.
I would lose my mind.
You would lose your
I
mind.
would lose my fucking mind.
Okay,
I'd be
so
fucked.
is there anything that you would like to end with or share before we wrap?
No, I mean, just like I hope that like people could like grab some of my personality on the show and add it to their own lives. And what I mean by that is like not the egotistical mean stuff, but like if you notice like on the show, I'm like constantly cheering myself on. Like I'm like literally like delusionally like in the mirror saying like you're the man. Like I think like a lot of people, especially nowadays, could like I hope they could grab some of that and like obviously like besides making fun of me, like I hope they could like take some of that and use it in like their day to day. I feel
Okay,
like
yeah.
I think a lot of people like, you know, look in the mirror and they're like not super stoked about what they see. And I was like that for a long time. And even to this day, sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like I'm like one of those guys where if you can fake it till you make it, you'll eventually start to like believe that delusion. So I hope people can grab that. I hope people like love themselves as much as I love myself on TV. So that's like the only thing. As long as I can spread some positivity with my stupidity on TV.
So you want to inspire people to feel more confident. I think that that's a really
Oh
beautiful
my God,
message
yeah,
to
be more
send.
confident. Like, look how confident I am on TV. I'm such a freak. Like, that is
Listen, you
true
never met a
confidence.
mirror you don't love. Like that's
Never met
inspiring.
a mirror I wasn't obsessed with. And I think everybody should be like that. I think everybody should be like delusionally in love with themselves. And honestly, life would probably be a lot better.
I love that. Okay, well, tell me where we can follow you. Where can everyone support you? And is there anything exciting coming up?
I'm just doing like a lot of streams. I'm doing like a lot of collabs with other creators. If I get on another show, that would be
Mm,
sick. Maybe I'll find the love of my life.
I think you might.
Or maybe I'll get my heart broken again by another blonde.
Period.
Can you imagine? Three, no,
No.
third time's a charm.
No. But
Third
yes,
time's a
that's
charm.
the thing.
Maybe like Temptation.
That's
No,
the
not
thing.
Temptation Island. That was too aggressive.
Love Island,
Perfect
you
Match.
could do. Perfect Match, you could do. But you still might end up on another show after. That's the thing
I think
about
Love
Perfect
Island would be a
Match.
good one.
Listen, I didn't because I know it's not a Netflix
I
show, but I would
know.
be
Netflix,
dying
don't kill me,
to.
Netflix,
Sorry,
please. Netflix, I'll take
please.
you over anybody, Netflix. I'll take you guys over
Yeah.
anybody,
But
please.
also, we would love to. We would love to see you on Love Island. That's a fact. I speak for other people.
Hopefully the interviews that I've been doing give people like a deeper retrospective of who I actually am and not just like the psychopath on TV that makes out with himself on mirrors.
Yes, I think it will. Well, thank you so much for having the time to
No,
sit down
thank
with
you.
me.
I'm honored to be on your podcast. It honestly means the world that you reached out to me.
I'm honored that you sat down with me. You answered all of the hard questions. You didn't shy away from anything. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a lovely rest of your
I hope
day.
yours is better. Thank you so much.
Everybody leave a comment. Go follow Tony. Did you plug your Instagram handle
Tony
yet?
Alejandro, three Ys.
Perfect.